Yes, but in time there will be a statement. There will be an official statement.
All right, you heard Old Man Murphy, folks. There will be an official statement about CreepyLeaks. Now, I don't know if he's talking about himself. I don't know if he's talking about MCP and VVC, Mr. Creepypasta and Vincent Vinacava, for anybody who doesn't know who I'm talking about. But yeah, he said there's going to be an official statement. That's going to be awesome. Finally, we're seeing people become more open and more... Anyway, I'm hopeful, actually. We're just going to disregard that, and we're going to be hopeful about the future. CreepyLeaks has been out for only 13 days, not even 2 weeks, and it's gone so far. It's had so many different ups and downs. It's been shared with thousands upon thousands of people, and then removed from thousands and thousands of people, and shared across the web far and wide. And I really think that that goes very far toward making sure that nobody in the future will be mistreated by these specific people without knowing that they have the recourse of talking about it publicly and telling people what was done to them. I think that that's really a positive thing to come out of this. And I wanted to do sort of a few post-mortem videos about CreepyLeaks. Now, you may say to yourself, does that mean that you're ending the CreepyLeaks? To which I would say there is no end to a document being released and in the public. I mean, you know, people are going to be looking at this for decades, finding it here and there. So, no, it's not an end to CreepyLeaks. It's more like an end to certain aspects of CreepyLeaks. There are going to be parts of the document, parts of the overall story, that I think we can sort of, you know, call it a day on. We can sort of close them out. I think that they've been proven well enough that everybody knows it. And people who want to deny it also know it really in their hearts. And, you know, we kind of don't really need to drive that home anymore. So this is going to be sort of a post-mortem, maybe, hopefully, final video about Whale Hay Productions. So the other day, Old Man Murphy did a live stream, a gaming live stream, where he brought up CreepyLeaks a couple times, and a few different things we're going to cover in this video. We're going to talk about the live stream, and then we're going to talk a bit more about some other things related to him, and then we're going to hopefully close out our statements on this person. By the way, I can't help but notice that even in this cartoon image, Murphy is leering at his co-host. So to start off, we're going to listen to Murphy talking about his idea of how the CreepyLeaks document should be spread. He's going to talk about how it's okay to look at the document. It's okay to read it. You don't have to worry. You know, take a look and read it.
I mean, just like say, hey, here's this you can read it if you want to. Do not shove it down their throats, or there's going to be problems because they're going to rebel against that. Kids will always rebel about what their parents throw at them.
I mean, looking past the fact that he says, you know, all of these people who might want to read it are kids, I'm going to move past that because that's just probably just a turn of phrase, I guess. It's good to see. It's good to see that he thinks you should be able to read it and you should be able to discuss it and you should be able to do whatever you want, but just don't force it on people. Don't ram it down people's throats. I mean, yeah, I mean that's good advice. So 2 seconds later, this happens.
We can't have this. We can't have this.
For anybody who can't see it, someone in the chat is actually posting a quote from Murphy that was in the CreepyLeaks document. And immediately, you know, we can't have this. We can't have this discussion here. But, you know what? What they posted contained some foul language. The quote from Murphy was inappropriate. I'll just let that sink in for a minute. So it wasn't, you know, something that was friendly for chat. So, you know, I can be on Murphy's side here. You know, you can't have that in your chat. You have to get rid of any kind of profanity or things like that. I totally agree with him there, and I'm just for anybody who's wondering, I'm not being sarcastic. I legitimately agree. That's a good thing to delete.
I need to get this one for posterity. I need to screen cap this one. Everyone in YouTube, stop talking for a moment because you're scrolling up on me. I need to get this. Okay. That. Okay. All right, Drew. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Oh, so now we are screen capping the people who mention the document and saving their information for later. Okay. I can agree with blocking them, and I can agree with screen capping things if it's going to be important to like provide evidence or something like that in the future. But you're kind of losing me a little bit with screen capping people from your chat who mention the document or quote it after you just said it's okay for people to read and talk about the document as long as they don't jam it down people's throats. It just seems a little bit contrary. I could be mistaken. This could be my own interpretation. I could be wrong. I'm just saying that Murph's kind of lost me a little bit there, but I'm sure that everything will clear up.
Sierra will be cracking skulls if you guys just want to be dickheads. I got a couple of my I got Audie. Yeah. What Autumn said, if you really want to, get under my skin, yeah, she will drag your dick through razor blades.
So wait, you tell people that it's okay to look into the document and talk about the document, but not jam it down people's throats, and then you block people who talk about it, you screen cap them, and save their information, and threaten them. I mean, agreed. It's an outlandish threat. It's a silly threat. It's not a real life threat. But I mean, does anybody else want to question whether or not people have been threatened to not talk about things or to not listen to certain things? Maybe I'm being a little cheap. I'm probably being cheap. Let's just continue. At least we have the fact that Murphy said it's okay to look at the document, discuss the document, think about the document, etc.
Not going to be talking about this Creepy Leaks or its author, Slime Beast. That's all I'm going to say about it. We're just not going to talk about it. That's it. All right?
Well, goddamn it. Okay. All right. Let's not get too overexcited, everybody. Let's just try to think of this logically. Okay. Murphy doesn't want anybody talking about anything that's been happening surrounding him lately. So that's fine. That's fine. I'm sure that he just doesn't want new people, like trolls, like people who have never been to his streams before, people who are just coming to cause trouble. I'm sure he doesn't want a bunch of new trolls showing up and spamming about his quotes or the documents or what he did, different things like that. I can understand that. You don't want a bunch of uninvolved, uninvested trolls just showing up to your stream and causing trouble.
If you mention the document, if you mention the author of that document, you will be banned. I do not care who you are. I don't care if you've been with me for a long time. I don't care if you've been with me for a short amount of time.
Oh my God! You're making it hard to be on your side here, Murph. Pick something and stick to it. Is it okay for people to look at it, or is it not? Is it okay for people to talk about it, or is it not? Is it okay? This is the problem with Murphy. Old Man Murphy, Well Hey Productions dude, the king of saying one thing and doing another. That's his whole MO. He'll do something and he'll say he didn't mean to do it, or it wasn't what you thought. He'll say something and then say that you had the wrong idea about what he said. Instead of standing by it, instead of owning up to it and being a real man and saying, yeah, that's what I said, I have the right to say it, deal with it, or saying, you know what, I shouldn't have said that, I apologize. Either one of those options, totally fine. Stand by your word if you want. Instead of being a real man and doing something like that, he does that, little trick where he says, "Oh, it's so weird that that's what you thought I meant." But I should probably calm down. I should take a chill pill and just sit back and relax, because I could be misunderstanding. Murph says don't talk about it in his chat, or he'll ban, screen cap, and threaten you. That's fine. That's fine. It's his chat. It's his stream. What he says goes. At the end of the day, that's the truth. That's the long and short of it. But at the very least, we still have that small shred of goodness from Murphy, where he said, that people should read the document for themselves if they want to. At least we know that he wouldn't direct people away from reading the document.
If you're confused, you just don't even need to know.
Kaylee,
don't worry
if
about
you're
it.
confused, don't worry about it. You haven't heard anything about it. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay? So them's the rules.
I guess he lost me. I guess he lost any support I could have had for what was going on here. So really, the next thing I want to move on to is sort of a comedic moment in the live stream where Murphy has an oh fuck moment. Like one of those moments where you say or do something and you immediately realize you fucked up, and the words oh fuck are written across your face because you just know you screwed up. So let's take a look at it.
Happened years ago. It's not a big deal. If these people wanna cling to something that actually didn't happen, let them. Someone's always got to have a hobby. This thing will all be over relatively soon. It happened years ago. Something that actually didn't happen happened years ago. Something that actually didn't happen.
But really, another thing we should understand about Old Man Murphy is that he doubles down. He doesn't, back off. And while that would be an admirable trait in most people, for him, he's not backing off from incredibly bad positions and just doubling down on so many things that are just obviously bad positions to take. And I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Autumn! Hello, darling. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you because I'm married and I can't talk to other women. Thank you for the host, cat girl. I appreciate it. I can't talk to other women because I am married, but I'm not dead.
That's a fair representation of what he's been accused of by people other than myself, by women other than myself. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair assessment, that he can't talk to other women at all because he's married. It's not at all because of all this Tumblr shit about him sending dick pics to fans and collaborators or whoever, and sending sex messages, and then threatening people when they don't like it. Yeah, that's totally a fair assessment, that all this stuff, provable, because some of the messages are still around, even though he deleted his parts of it. You can find the replies on some threads. Totally a fair assessment that because he has done all of this stuff, that means he can't ever talk to a woman because he's Maui'd. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's exactly what's in the document. I mean, I'm aware that there are some people out there who won't pick up that that's sarcasm, but I should point out that's sarcasm. So let's close this out with Murphy's number one excuse, his number one explanation, however you want to look at it. His number one go-to comment when things like this are brought up. which would be...
Wow. Oh, what did they say? They were taking out of context a conversation that I had with someone several years ago. And kind of just like what happened yesterday in social media.
Yeah, guys, you don't understand. It's all out of context. That's the whole problem. Everything's out of context. See, Murphy's not gonna give you that context. He's not gonna tell you what the context is, other than his lame-ass explanation that it was years ago. I mean, yeah, it's nice to know that I'm part of the creepypasta community where you can do anything you want to other people, and as long as you wait 365 days before it's found out, nobody can ever be mad because it's old news. It was years ago. Yeah, it's good to know that that's how that works in this community. But yeah, context. I don't want to get sidetracked. We don't have the context because, Murphy won't give the context. Vincent Vinacava won't give context for his statements. Mr. Creepypasta won't give context for his statements. So we don't have the context. And all I can do is ask Murphy for some context. Like, yesterday, when you're on Twitter and you're tweeting "send nudes." I mean, it's a joke, sure, but it seems like you don't give a shit that people keep bringing up the fact that what you're saying comes off like a creepy old lecher. It seems like you don't give a shit, but maybe the context is different. Maybe you're compiling a medical journal. Maybe we could have context for this out-of-context tweet, where Autumn Ivy, your co-host, says she's on her way, and you post, "You stop that," and you put The Mask in love with the face of that old cartoon wolf from the cartoons when he sees a hot woman. Let's put that in other context. Maybe he is a huge fan of The Mask, and he just used a random GIF without thinking of the implications of it. That could be the context. Let's look at this other tweet from the other day, where Ivy says, "Her hair is just so fluffy." And he says, "Oh yeah, the hair. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, that's the ticket." Maybe that's not talking about the boobs or skin or whatever else. Maybe that's not anything kind of a little bit questionable. Maybe that's not improper in any way. Maybe what he's talking about is he was looking at her earrings. And he's just saying, "Oh yeah, the hair. I totally wasn't looking at her earrings. No, sure wasn't." Maybe that's the context. I mean, all we can do is ask Murphy for the context so that he can show us how wrong we are. And I'm more than happy to be wrong. I'm more than happy to be proved wrong. I'm waiting for somebody to do it. How about the context of this old blog post of a girl showing off her shoes? Showing off shoes she just got. And saying, "Second gift received today. I love them." And then Well Hey Productions right here, old Murphy saying, "You're really asking for it, aren't you?" She's really asking for it. Since we don't have the context from Murphy, I'll say she's asking for a pulled calf muscle by wearing inconvenient shoes. I guess that's what it is. Someone else says, "Whoa there, friend, let's try phrasing that again." And the girl in the photo says, "Yeah, that's pretty creepy." Then Murphy comes back with his old, tactic where he's like, "It's so silly that you thought that was what I meant. That's totally not what I meant. I was just thinking of wearing my wife's shoes." Wah, 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 wah. Comedy, folks. Alright, so let's look at this post. It's from the same user who posted the shoe picture. talking about how she has, I think, celiac disease, if I'm, saying that right. She has celiac disease, and apparently Murphy was a bit inconsiderate about her having celiac, disease, or whatever it's called. And yeah, he was a bit inconsiderate about it, so she posted this. It's a bit hard to read, but you can pause it and take a look at it. And the response to that was, right here on Well Hey Productions' Tumblr blog, here's his response to that whole situation, where he was a bit insensitive to her about her illness. So, my mom came over last night to watch Maddie today, and while everyone was at home, we got to talking. We talked about this, and we talked about that, and eventually, we got to talking about wheat. Because that comes up in conversation. We talked about how wheat is so technologically advanced that most of our bodies can't keep up with all the advancements they are making with food, which is why we are seeing a lot more intolerances and many more allergies. Of course, since we were talking about wheat and intolerances, we got to talking about my mom's gluten intolerance. She went into great depths about what she can and can't have, most of which I already know and still forget to this day. When I was reminded that my mom was coming over, my wife said there's no food in the house for her to make lunch, so I told her that we plenty of bread. Then I remembered this is my mom we're talking about. As we were talking about gluten intolerance, my mom made mention of celiac. Memory gears in reverse. Oh yeah, that gluten affliction that causes the rash thing, right? My mom corrected me. Oh no, celiac is much worse than just a gluten intolerance. With a gluten intolerance, you just can't have wheat. With celiac, you not only can you not have gluten, but any food that gluten has touched, and it will cause severe inflammation in the intestines. My next question was aimed at someone from my past. Well, can it kill you? Both my wife and my mom. Yes! I proceeded to tell them the tale of a certain individual in Texas that just so happens to have celiac, and the reason I thought it was a rash thing. My mom corrected me and said, no, celiac is internal. What that person was an allergic reaction on the skin, and that's how she found out. I did some more reading after this epiphany, and my heart sank. So, we have come to the portion where it is time to do the right thing, because if I preach about always doing the right thing, then why wouldn't I follow my own words and be branded a hypocrite? To Miss Shadow Lovely, which is the girl with the celiac problem and the girl that Murphy was totally not hitting on. To Miss Shadow Lovely, I apologize sincerely if I had ever made you feel horrible about your condition. And most certainly, the screen capture of what I said to a certain Ohioan wishing harm would befall upon you because of your illness. I was mad at the time over something so important. I cannot even remember what it was. That is no excuse. We used to be good friends, and it still irks me that we no longer are. And hopefully, with this public apology, the healing process can begin. I hope this post finds you well. Sincerely, Old Man Murphy. So yeah, that sounds like a heartfelt apology. He found out that the girl he was hitting on that didn't want him hitting on her, supposedly, allegedly, she didn't want that to happen. He kind of was rude to her about her celiac problem. And eventually, years later, he learned that actually it can kill you, and he shouldn't have been rude about it. Only problem with that is that he knew it could kill her, and that's what he was saying at the time. The screenshot he talks about that he's apologizing for specifically says, yeah, I don't care for her either, and I'm already going to hell, so I don't give a shit for saying this. I hope her celiac thing kills her. Murphy himself. So, Murphy, you wished somebody dead from a disease that they have because you didn't like them and because they, had a falling out with you. And later, to put it in context, you said, I'm sorry, I had no idea that that disease was bad enough to kill you. I thought it was just a skin rash. So, your context is obviously a lie. You wouldn't put it in context by saying, I didn't know it could kill her, if your previous statement was, I hope her disease kills her. Liar. Absolute liar. So here's the thing that we're closing out this video with. We can ask Old Man Murphy for context and clarification, but unfortunately we can't trust any of his context or clarification. Where does that leave us? I have no fucking idea. This is the post-mortem video closing out my discussion of Old Man Murphy, who likes to try to steer conversations towards sex when he's talking to female fans and collaborators, who openly lies at the drop of a hat, who doubles down on everything he does wrong, like stealing somebody else's YouTube video and uploading it to his own channel and saying he made it. Instead of taking it down or apologizing or anything like that, he just turns off comments and then reposts it to get new views. We're closing the chapter of Old Man Murphy because everything that he has said, everything that he has done, everything that he is, there's enough out there now that people with any sense and intelligence will be wary of him. And the people who are trying to get to Mr. Creepypasta through him, they're probably the only ones who won't heed the warning. So there's nothing really you can do about that sort of thing. My name is Slimebeast. This is the end of the video. I hope to fuck I never have to talk about this guy again. Murphy, I'm not going to say if you're watching this because you are watching this. Murphy, don't do any more shit I have to address. Because, if you do the same shit, I'm not going to address it because it's already all been said. So don't do any new shit that I got to worry about because I don't want to make any more videos about you and I don't want to talk about you anymore. Bye-bye.